It's Monday, April 19th, 2021. It's my birthday, and yet here I am working on this Batwoman review. And the title of the episode, Arrive Alive, well, let's be honest. If I keep doing these episodes, God knows what's going to happen to the brain cells that I have left. Let's get into this thing, shall we? It hurts already. So this week's episode begins with a pulse-pounding Dollar General Fast and the Furious type beginning.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
With the False Face Society stealing supplies to make that sweet, sweet snake bite. So Black Mask comes into the lab where we see Angelique sees, and she's playing with her chemistry set. And he threatens to shove her face in some acid or whatever dumb shit they have, whatever MacGuffin type chemical they're using. And he tells her that he went through all the trouble to procure her the supplies. And she says that she's missing one key ingredient. But he says if she doesn't get it, at least he'll have what he needs to dissolve her body. Here we go. Let's get into it. Da-na-na. Oh, just take it away.
Peter, I'm really starting to question why I'm even friends with you in the first place.
So Ryan is on the phone with Sophie, and Ryan is being briefed that the two milquetoast White Crow agents are dead because, well, they're expendable white males, and it doesn't matter if they die.
But Angelique sees is probably alive. Oh my God, that's amazeballs.
Right. We got to make sure Angelique's alive because we can't have the lesbians dying. Little Fox is reassuring Ryan that the False Face Society is stocking up on supplies, and the one ingredient that isn't readily available at the pharmacy was fear toxin, because that's just regularly synthesized and readily available at your local CVS, Walgreens, or whatever pharmacy may be in your area. And from here, business really starts to pick up because Alice is in Dr. Rhyme, or Enigma's office, and a hapless white male patient just comes meandering in, and he says, hey, I'm your 5 o'clock or whatever. And Alice is like, oh, she's sitting at the desk, just acting like a crazy, hot, insane, sexy, gorgeous psychopath. And, she just throws her butterfly knife and stabs him right in the neck because why not? He's an expendable white male. Just kill him off. He doesn't matter to the plot. He's just there to die. So she's like, oh yeah, you're divorced. Bah! Knife to the neck. Enigma comes in and she diagnoses Alice's insanity and says, I guess you want your memories of Ocean back.
Because that's a thing that could just fucking happen.
And Alice says, keep them.
But I want to forget Casey's.
Meanwhile, on Fast and the Furious Gotham Drift, the False Face Society car show is in full swing, and the rice burners are lined up, and one of the drivers looks like they're out of Monty Python, but keep an eye on it because, shh, don't tell anybody, come here. It's Sophie. And they all depart whilst we're treated to a generic techno beat of What's Up Danger from Into the Spider-Verse, and Batwoman stops one of the cars driven by a female, and that's where we find out it is Sophie with some really hot braids in her hair, like braided all the way down to her scalp, and does Sophie look good in this? Anyway, she's one of the lesbians anyway, so it doesn't matter. She's a lesbicano, which in Gotham we know is all prevalent because 99.9% of the women in Gotham are lesbians. So anyway, well, Ryan really fucked up this one, and Sophie tells Batwoman to
Stay out of my business.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll it.
The lesbian!
If you're wondering, yes, I did put a sweatshirt on. It's a little cold in here, and it's almost May, so I'm not turning the heat up because I'm cheap. And don't even make any jokes because I know what you're thinking. Alice is still rambling on to Enigma about her sister. Rhyme tells Alice that she can't delete her because she's her last moral compass. Like Alice has a fucking moral compass. And Enigma tells Alice that she's a monster, but she's in control. To which Alice shoves a knife in her face because that's something that somebody who's in control of their actions rationally would do. Enigma then tells her that she must confront Kate, and only then can the memory wiping begin without fracturing Alice's psyche, which is, let's be honest, that shit's been broken for a long time. But, I mean, if she's got, horizontal cuts, manic panic hair dye, and daddy issues, sign me up. Yes, because she hasn't murdered countless people without batting an eye over the last 30 episodes. You know, there's a body count behind Alice. She is Gotham's probably biggest serial killer. Oh no, we wouldn't want her to become unhinged or anything, would we now?
Are you fucking high?
So are we finally going to see Wallace Day as Kate Kane, or are they going to continue to honey dick us?
Okay, now to be fair.
To be fair.
The next scene gives us our first glimpse of Dougray Scott, the husk of Dougray Scott, and he plays, as we all know, the shell of a man named Jacob Kane, and at least they coerced him to shave that beard that just looked like he was sad and depressed drunk. Sophie enters, and there's another agent waiting in the office. His name is Tavaroff, and he's got heat with Sophie apparently because, well, he's a toxic white male, so he'll either die or get cucked out somewhere along the lines. Jacob puts him in charge of the investigation. He screams at Sophie with all the force of a disgruntled past his prime actor who knows his career is doomed because he's on the CW's Batwoman. He tells Sophie she isn't going to throw herself in front of a bullet for Angelique because she's picked her side, and Sophie looks like she's going to cry. Then we realize Kane's tantrum is stemming from withdrawals in all likelihood, and the fact that he's just a fragile white male with an unearned sense of confidence and entitlement. Meanwhile, at Lesbo's Bar and Grill, Sophie and Ryan are talking, and Sophie tells Ryan that Tavaroff is going to scorch the earth, including
Angelique.
So, of course, Ryan volunteers, and against Sophie's better judgment, she agrees to allow Ryan to help her as an undercover asset. Only because Ryan guilted her into saying,
You and I got Angelique into this mess, and now we have to get her out.
You said us out! It's all bullshit! All of it!
Ha! Our test results showed that was a lie. Angelique was living the criminal life well before she got involved with Sophie and the Crows. But given Ryan's perpetual victimhood, this seems right on fucking par with the rest of her garbage tier run as Batwoman.
You're gonna fix that, right?
So Alice is with Dr. Rhyme undergoing her memory treatment via hypnosis and goes into a memory, and she's talking with young Kate in the backseat of their mom's car, and Rachel Skarsten chews the scenery as usual. The highlight is when Ocean is driving the car and Alice just loses her shit, wakes up and accuses Enigma of toying with her, which I'd like to toy with Alice a little bit. Maybe. Ryan and Sophie are driving Mary's car for the job for the False Face Society. Sophie gets mad because Ryan isn't taking it seriously, and then Ryan recoils and plays the victim like Dana Schwartz on Twitter.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Little Fox makes up a fake identity for Ryan, a.k.a. Robin Wilde. Ooh, that's a clever one.
He says it'll be easy for you to remember because you're a fucking idiot.
And then he sets her up with all the MacGuffins she'll need. One of them goes so far as to correct her horrible driving. And she needs this because she's a woman. Next is more horrible techno while Ryan shows off her driving for the False Face Society goons and makes a Fast and Furious Gotham joke. How witty and clever. They ask her a bunch of questions and give her a phone and a mask, and she's part of the club. Yay!
Come on, don't bullshit me.
So we're back with more Fast and the Furious Gotham Drift, and Ryan is preparing for her run, and her phone rings, and the name is
Trophy! Oh my god, so clever. So stunning, so super brave. Just amazing.
False Face is following Ryan's car with the drone, but she doesn't care. She's going through with the pickup anyway. So the vehicles are on their courses, and Luke is driving Ryan's car through his AI plug-in because the show needs that to happen. And Ryan tries to put the tracker into the fear toxin canister. Stay with me here. We have fear toxin in canisters, which we're using to make snake bite with. That's right. And 3 Crow SUVs are in pursuit of Mary's car, which is a Porsche, and Ryan is occupying. Luke is driving like a radio-controlled car, and she gets a few bullet holes through her mirror, but hey, Ryan makes the drop because she's so perfect. Ryan goes home and thinks that Sophie is waiting for her and only finds little Fox. And you can understand her disappointment given that he can't.
Scissor me timber!
And they come to the conclusion that Sophie ditched them to take the False Face Society on without them because, let's face it, little Fox is a weak cuck, even though he had one moment last week where he actually acted like a man, and Ryan is just a idiot. Enigma is still messing around inside of Alice's beautiful, insane, bizarro world brain, and she's making out with Ocean on a dirty subway car. Ocean tells Alice she killed him for nothing, and then he comes to the door and has her at gunpoint because he would know exactly where she is at that moment because he's been tracking her down. How, you ask? Don't know, but the plot needs it to happen that way. Ocean tells Alice he's still alive. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You're standing right there in the fucking door.
He was a retard.
And he tells her the magical lesbian knife didn't kill him and that he and Alice have a you owe me a Coke moment. She cries, invokes the name of Lesbian Island, and they fight until Dr. Crazy says a buzzword and leaves him on the floor, frozen in place, and they have a moment where Alice forgets she's alive.
The lesbian!
Sophie's at the drop-off point for the fear toxin and all the supplies for the snake bite where Angelique seizes. Don't forget about that lesbian. And she takes out one of the false-face goons at the warehouse, but then Black Mask enters and, of course, knocks her out from behind because that's what we need to happen to keep this story moving a little bit. He has her tied up and tells her that he knows she's alone. There's no SWAT team coming. But Batwoman shows up and he shoots her to no avail, and they fight long enough for Sophie to free herself. They have him at gunpoint, but then he has the trump card because one of his goons has Angelique seized at gunpoint, and he makes them release him, of course, and they let him go because they have to let Black Mask go, and they're, we can't have anybody dying, especially not one of the Black Mask actually apologizes to Angelique for the delay in delivery of the supplies, and he says,
Mondays, you know?
To you sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays.
He goes to shoot up Angelique, and because she doesn't know if it's deadly or not, she says she can find Ocean because he knows if the batch is good, and yeah, this is just getting... But we'll find Ocean first because he and Alice are walking through the alleyways of Gotham together, and they're both after that one desert rose plant left because Alice's crazy, psychotic, beautiful ass burnt the entire field of the Jesus flower down that grows on Lesbian Island and only Lesbian Island. And Batwoman, of course, has that flower in the Bat Cave. Ocean and Alice are having alleyway feelings, talking about feelings, going through feelings, working through feelings, and he tries to get her to admit that she regrets stabbing him with the lesbian dagger from Pirate Lesbian on Lesbian Island. And Alice comes out as super straight, much to the chagrin of the Gotham Lesbian Preservation Society.
You serious?
Sophie sees bullet holes in Mary's car and finds the Bat Boost technology, which lets us know that Sophie, despite her obvious flaws, is not as stupid as the character would appear to be written, and she's kind of figuring out that Ryan might be, probably is, Batwoman. Speaking of people figuring out who Batwoman is, Tavarov and the Crows are at the warehouse where Black Mask was bringing the supplies into, and he sees blood splattered against the plastic kind of divider between the rooms. He goes decide to take a sample of it, which was from Ryan when she was fighting with Sophie against Black Mask, so we know the Crows are close to figuring out who Ryan is. Oh man, the suspense is killing me. Caroline Dries, how do you do it week after week?
Gay!
So Sophie has taken the Bat Boost technology out of the car, out of Mary's car, which Ryan used in the Crow's heist. Now she's taking that back and she's analyzing the sound and the recording of the voices on there. Sophie now knows that Ryan is Batwoman, and they're all lesbos! And she exclaims,
Peter, I'm really starting to question why I'm even friends with you in the first place.
So that's it. That is episode 11, Arrive Alive. we're getting to the nitty gritty here. I think there's 2 episodes left. Not until May 2nd do we get another new one, so I get next week off, thank God. I've got a lot of catching up to do on other shows that don't give me an aneurysm every time I have to spend almost 8 hours working on a video. And today took a long time, and it's my birthday, so I wanted to make this one really special. And I think I hit the marks because this was a terrible episode, but I hope I made it entertaining for you to at least watch. And man, this writing is just bad. This is bad. We'll talk about it a little bit tonight on the very special edition of Monday Night Going in Raw, featuring 3/4 of the world-class bullshitters, half of Echo Base Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. If I have, please hit that red button if I've earned your subscription today. Be sure to share the video, slap that like button, wish me a happy birthday, happy escape from the womb day in the comments below. I'm Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. And remember, if I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.